We are back, and remarkably, I only died a couple times. Well, I should say a couple times, but it was more two instances of death where I died like 3 or 4 times. I don't know what it was. I'm wondering if picking up certain types of cargo makes the pirates come after you, which I suppose is possible. Anyway, we're pretty much exactly where we were before. I'm a little further ahead on credits this time, and I did go and buy the rest of the licenses. So we're actually probably $300,000 or $400,000 or credits above where we were before. But the rest of our outfits are the same. We even got the same deal on the Starbridge, which I can't show you because I already purchased it. Oh well. So it says that it's a lot more expensive than the standard Starbridge, but it comes with so much stuff. Anyway, carbon fiber. Yeah, the carbon fiber alone pays for the price increase. 2450. Yeah. 50,000 credits. 2/3 of the carbon fiber, in fact. I don't know if other aspects of your ship can be affected. So we got the Duke Viral 2. It's a Starbridge. Turn rate 152 degrees per second. Max speed 418. I'm not curious enough to make a duplicate save and buy the other Starbridge and see what happens, but I'm a little curious. Actually, whoops. What is our trade-in value right now? 350,000 credits. How awful. So even though we bought this Starbridge for 650,000 credits, like literally a couple days ago, it's now worth 350,000, even though we've invested more money into it. That is ridiculous. Anyway, actually, we get to look at the cool full art here, which I think I either grabbed from the game files. No. I got it from Ambrosia Software's website. I used these for my desktop pictures for a while because they're cool ships. The light capital class S-25 Starbridge is now ours. The Starbridge is a relatively new concept in ship design in a federation where ancient traditions are the rule. Now, interestingly, one of the cool things about this is you'll notice that this is actually carbon fiber. Like that section right there is sort of like a trapezoid, right? Trapezoid of three gray slats. And then if we come over here and look at the carbon fiber thing, that's a trapezoid with 3 gray slats. And you can kind of see that it's on a Starbridge. It's so cool. I love it. Anyway, this vessel channels power straight from a thorium nuclear furnace into its large impulse drives, bypassing life support and even jump systems. Ancillary power is then provided by turbines mounted behind the engines. This design provides very accurate control of thrust and great power in normal space. The single drawback is that the turbines must be very strong, pushing the price up by a large margin. Requires yada yada yada. So if we hadn't been saving for the Starbridge, we would have been able to go for a Terrapin or a Viper. Okay, a Viper is absolutely useless. A Terrapin is close to absolutely useless. An IDA frigate is useful once you upgrade it. And a Thunderhead is only useful as an escort. So we could have gotten an asteroid miner. Actually, what's the cargo space here? Cargo. 100 tons of cargo. Okay, so in the future, perhaps going for an asteroid miner. Of course, I don't know what kind of defensive capabilities they have. Shields 100, armor 40 versus... Yeah, okay, so that... I know I was complaining about all of the ridiculousness of shuttles being basically worthless, but I suppose you could upgrade to a lowish tier ship just to prevent yourself from dying right away. These guys are slower, though. So speed of 300, acceleration poor, versus speed of 400, acceleration good. And I don't know if that's a worthwhile trade-off, you know? It's too bad we can't figure out what... Oh, yeah, actually, it does say 379.27 versus 400, 300. Yeah. Oh, it's too bad. Actually, let's try, because maybe we'll be lucky and... Okay, so no, this is the same one. 384, 420. Let's try one more time. Okay, this might work. Nope. Okay, that's enough of that. In any event, so we only have 15 cargo units available to us right now. However, Honestly, that's okay, because most of the time you don't want to purchase these terrapins or even the leviathans and the circle ones. I don't remember what they're called, because you really want those as your escort, because you can fly around and the escort will follow you no matter what you do. Anyway, it's funny that it's 2045 AD. Oh, 24. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Never mind. 2045 AD, approximately minus 735 new calendar, some 1900 years ago. Interesting. So this puts this time period at around 4 or 5000 AD. That actually is pretty reasonable. Yeah, actually, that's pretty reasonable. I guess that puts it at exactly... Wow, it's 2020, isn't it? Oh, man. How does that happen? Anyway, so 1900 years ago, well, 1925 years ago. Anyway, what do we got in the mission BBS? We got some United shipping deliveries. However, now that we've got a ship that isn't going to kill us in 3 seconds, we're going to not take on the Aurorans. Oh, why am I driving that way? No, no, ow, that's a bad idea. Okay, I think we're fine now. But notice that we went the wrong way and we didn't die. That is quite nice. It is quite nice not to die immediately. That's kind of quiet now. Oh, right, because I turned down the sound. That's right. I went and turned down the volume of this whole thing. So, for some reason, whenever we went to Arkanar, assuming that's how you say that, there were just a ton of pirates. So let's try that again, see what happens, and see if we can... Nope, there's just... Okay, fine. It's no one here now. I guess that's fine. We have 2 battery packs. I'm not actually sure that's useful, especially considering we could have a solar panel instead of a battery pack. But, yeah, no, I guess it's fine. I do wish we could do something with that extra 2 tons of cargo space. Oh, we have an afterburner. That's right. I don't remember how to use afterburners. No. No. Oh, Z. Z is the afterburner. Okay, so that's good to know. Yeah, okay. So Z afterburner is going to be our standard now. Oh, man, such a great ship. Also, look at how few frames of animation there are. Oh, I love this ship. Ah, well. And the sad part is we're probably going to get rid of it well, not pretty soon, but moderately soon, once we have access to the Rebel Starbridge and the upgraded Starbridge. I wonder if there's a Rebel upgraded Starbridge. I don't actually know. Really, we are just kind of wandering about and looking for things to kill now because we want to grab the Wild Geese mission. And we want to grab the Wild Goose mission first because... Ow. Oh. Possession of a cheap military IR jammer has been detected. I mean, why are you complaining about me being a cheapskate, you know? So as long as we don't attack them, we should be okay. And they'll only attack us once they scan us. So I think we want to keep things as we... Oh! Process takes barely 24 hours. The only drawback is your process will strip all outfits and leave the standard fittings for the Starbridge C. Oh! I like that. Chrome Valkyrie for reasons only known to the original designers. Means we have to sell all of these. I didn't realize we'd get that, so I didn't realize we could do that. Oh, man. I hate saying it, but we are going to do this. So, sell our battery pack, sell the afterburner, sell the solar panel, sell all this stuff. Sell all this. So I think now that we've done that, oh, and sell all that, which we will have to go back to Glidetech for. We buy that, and now we have, okay, sell the light blasters, sell all the missiles. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of these missiles. Some of the later missiles are pretty good. Now I don't remember. Okay, so we had 3 carbon fibers. Need the gravimetric sensors and all that good stuff. A couple solar panels. 3 battery packs. Ooh, they're still there. Nice. Okay, and then sell these guys. Do want the afterburner. So yeah, 3 battery packs, 2 solar panels. I got the 3 carbon fiber, and then we just load up on... I feel like we have less stuff now. I feel like we have less cargo. Oh, we have 20 cargo units now, but we have less space for turrets. That's kind of sad. What? Oh no. I don't know if that was such a good idea now. Well, it's too late now. We bought it, and that's all there is to it. Could buy some more medium blasters. That might almost be worth it. Yeah, that might be worth it. Do we want medium blasters or do we want turrets? We can get 1 medium blaster turret, which I think has 2 medium blasters on it. We could sell the medium blasters and buy only the turrets. That might actually be worthwhile. Can't hold anymore. So 8, 12. Oh, man. 3 times 8 is 24. We won't even have enough for a second medium blaster turret. We will if we sell something that has... so we'll have to get rid of some carbon fiber. So if we sell the carbon fiber, and then we sell our medium blasters, we can get 1 more medium blaster turret. I think that's the best, because that way we have... So we had 5 medium blasters before. Now we have only 4, but they're all turreted, and I think that's worthwhile. Now, I think... Oh, by the way, we get these cool side things now. So you can... Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. That might actually be a problem. It's okay. The Federation will get angry at us pretty soon anyway. Oh, nope, not that. Land. Nope. Okay. Let's see. What do they got here? Oh, interesting. We can't sell our... I don't know. I wonder, can we buy a military radar? No, probably not. Oh, well. Let's see. I don't even know how useful they are, really. Chain guns are tempting. The chain guns are very tempting. Are these... Okay, so this is jamming type 1. Olaf Grey Shoulders, yeah. Okay, so I don't think we want any of this. 600,000, it's half that price at Seoul. Oh well. Okay, so our job now is to go find some pirates. We're going to go up into the unknown and stay away from the gunboats because the gunboats will scan us. They're kind of like annoying hall monitors. Okay, there we go. We got some... So I think the difference between the Association of Free Traders and the pirates is that the Association of Free Traders will... Wait, are they fighting each other? Interesting. Oh well. I think the Association of Free Traders asks for less money when they board you. No, hey, stop that. Stop that. Ow. Well, fine. Rebels, traders, nothing interesting. Gotta remember Z is our... Oh, there we go. That's... we might be okay getting a Marauder. Let's see if we can... Nice. And the pirates are going after us. Okay, so we do want to get out of here. Oh man, there's 2 of them? Ugh. Okay, we'll see if we can take down this pirate Viper, and then we'll get out of here. Nice. What is our... Okay, so we got little combat ability. That's better than none. That's better than none. We don't really want to fight the Manticores, because Manticores... Yeah, we'll leave those guys to their own devices. Okay, we can probably take on this guy. Especially since we're getting some help from our rebel friends. I don't know if that counted. Probably not. I think we have to get the killing shot for it to count. That's interesting. Why is that red? Oh, I bet they didn't count for that. Oh, we're in Korea. Oh, I'm moving too fast. They got some good stuff. Oh, yeah, actually. Wait, didn't we buy... Oh, no, we'd never got the port and polish back, so we'll buy one of those. That'll actually be quite helpful. Can we buy... No, it does not look like it. I wanted to see if we could buy any real military IR stuff. I think we need a special license for that anyway. The Hellhound missiles are pretty cool. Mostly, though, they're cool when you're being... They're cooler when people shoot you with them than they are when you shoot them, I feel like. Oh, well. Oh, my. That was fast. Yeah, we can probably take this guy on. Especially since he's, Yeah, because he's ionized now, so we're in good shape. The only downside is that we won't be able to board him. Yeah. Cause he'll get blown up. I should go fix the I should go fix the mod that changes the whatever you call this part, because it's clearly not picking up all of the ship variants, because it's picking up these ship variants, but it's not picking up the like the modified Starbridge ship variants. Man, I wish I had realized that we would get a an upgrade to the Type C so quickly. I probably would have gone with the normal Starbridge, because we could have gotten the normal Starbridge. Oops. We could have gotten the normal Starbridge, even the cheap Starbridge, and then purchased the upgrade, I think. What's our combat ability? Still... Wait. System... Oh, Denier. Okay. I thought it said Denier, and I was very confused. I mean, it does say Denier, but... Okay, we can take this guy on, I hope. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, this might be problematic. That was a mistake. We could beg for mercy. Unfortunately, yeah, he's not going to help us. So we're just going to be... Oh, wow, we cut that very close. Like, I don't know why we didn't explode there. And unfortunately, we're just going to sit here until somebody comes into the system. Oh, somebody that might actually help us. That's amazing. I love how little traders charge. Like, asking the Federation, they ask for like 15 or 20,000 credits, but traders don't rip you off. Getting something to drink while we wait for this thunderbolt or thunderhead. See, they do that weird, like, sliding onto your ship, even though everyone has to... we should probably head down to Seoul just to be safe. Don't really want to fight anyone. So we can't take a... Whatever, Valkyrie? Yeah, we can't take a Valkyrie on head-to-head. Which is unfortunate. And unfortunately, we have to be able to land on Seoul pretty quickly so we don't get scanned and shot at. I want to say there's another Starbridge upgrade, but maybe I'm wrong. Our trade-in is still 350,000 credits. That's so sad. Oh yeah, I wanted to also mention, I never saw the Velos mission while I was going through this playthrough. And we should have still seen... I mean, okay, given the frequency with which we seemed to get it last time, or the last couple times, we seemed, or I would have expected to get it again. But we did not, and I kept an eye out for it. Yeah. 25,000 credits just isn't that much anymore. Well, we have most of Federation's space mapped out here. Oh, even shows us the rebel stuff. I don't actually know if this would adjust the map based on our exploration, or if this is actually the whole map. I want to say it does, because there's a Auroran system right here, and that should be butting up against these. Oh well. Actually, we're here. We have little ability, which is apparently not enough. Well, I hope that mod I adjusted was actually the right thing. Rather, I hope it includes the correct wild geese mission. Be frustrating if it doesn't. Well, I'm glad they're not shooting at us. Yeah, I'm really just checking to see if there's anything cool, but there never is. So we could get 10 tons additional. We can get 10 tons of mass. I don't know what I don't think there's anything we want to spend it on. We could get one light blaster, which, We could get a light blaster for that. That might almost be worth it. So that would give us 8 tons of cargo space. Just to be on the safe side, we probably do want to keep the 20. Yeah. Let's head back to Seoul, see if anything's in the bar. Oh, nope. Yeah, we don't want to deal with them right now. I know it's supposed to be the horrible, oh yeah, what are these called? Pegasus. Yeah, Pegasus. I didn't actually remember that, so I don't know why I was acting as if I remembered. Ooh, 46 tons. Yeah, forget that. Or rather, we can't do that. 30,000 credits. 30,000 versus 50,000. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like this is 1 ton of stuff. And we don't have to worry about things being 3 systems away anymore. So it's nice that we can go more than 3 systems away. Yeah, who's shooting at us? Oh, Marauder. Which we probably wouldn't have been able to deal with anyway. Altia. I wish the, what I was trying to say was, I wish the, what is it called? The shuttle had a little more, initial shielding. Just a little more. Just so you could take a few more hits before you absolutely die. Like, it's crazy. It is nice to be able to jump. Okay, so it's September 25th, and, so it's two days per jump. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, please let us land. Oh, dear. Wait, who's shooting? Oh. Well, let's try to swing around, I guess. Stop. There we go. Oh, dear. Oh, that was it. Okay, cool. 20,000 credits, 60,000, 30,000. So it looks like we start getting these urgent and rush deliveries once we upgrade our ship. Unfortunately, we don't have any cargo space for them. Oh, yeah, this is the Contic mission. I mean, it's 50,000 credits, which is a bit much. Yeah, 50,000, yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't know if that's worth it, because it's a ways out there through Auroran space, and the Aurorans don't really like us. I wonder if we can do some trading missions in Aurora. I wonder if they'd stop shooting at us then. That would be nice. That's one part about this that I don't really get. Like, the Aurorans shoot at you, even though you're a harmless traitor. Like, I suppose if they're trying to like destroy shipping infrastructure, that sort of thing, I suppose that kind of makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna land here, and they shouldn't care that we have cheap military stuff, so, you know. I'm kind of wondering if it's worth doing a couple trading missions while we're down here, just so the Aurorans are slightly less angry at us all the time. This is why I don't like Auroran space. Their hyperspace jumps don't make any sense. Glad those missiles weren't hitting us. Oh, stop. Oh, of course. So we're gonna have to go there. We're going to ignore that and just let our engines reach. No, that's silly. We'll go this way. I do think it's kind of silly that even when you have a fuel scoop, your stuff. Oh my goodness, seriously? Oh, that's right. Okay, we need to land here though. Seriously? Come on. Too far away. There we go. Okay. Well, so our only real... Oh, gotta remember our afterburn. Our only real threat is when we enter the houseless... Yeah, exactly this. Please get us out of here quickly. Oh, this is too many things. I don't like them. I don't like them. Although, we're doing really well. That last system had a message about our flight plan. Considering that we don't, you know, have a flight plan, you know. Oh, well. Yeah. Well, fine. Ah, such a cool thing, you know? Just in the middle of nowhere. I think we did this before, so I'm not going to read this again. So now we have to go all the way back to Seoul, which is a ways back. This is why I don't like Auroran space. It's impossible to navigate. So once we get to Denny Himir, I mean, once we get out of here, we should be fine. What's my... how many jumps? 5 jumps plus... Oh, right, because we can't refuel here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will put us in the middle of nowhere. So if we can try landing on Nilha? Yeah, Nilha. That might be worthwhile. Assuming there's no one trying to shoot at us. Well, that was, you know... Okay. No one in the bar. Pity. Okay, we're just going to jump out of here. So we have 10 jumps. 10 jumps of fuel. That's pretty good. I don't like the Auroran ships. Or rather, I don't like the Auroran ships fighting us because they have way too many armaments that are unreasonably effective. We are not even going to get out of Auroran space, are we? That's ridiculous. Oh, get us out of here. Oh, that's... could be better. Oh, that's not so bad. 2 feds? Wait, why are the feds angry at us? Why are the feds angry at us? Why are you angry at us? It's ridiculous. Are we going to have to wait? Or are we going to have to sell our jammers? Because the feds are just always angry at us now? That'd be awful. I mean, they don't appear to be angry at us now. So why were those particular feds angry at us? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ahem. That went a little too quickly. Okay, I don't think we got this one before. Maybe we did. Just as you sit down, you see a group made up of 2 men and a woman, all with the same soft, pallid look of scientists, walk into the bar. As soon as one of them spots you and they all look in your direction, and make their way over. Are you Lepsis Magna, captain of the Duke of Earl II? Asks one of the men, and when you nod in confirmation, they all grin. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm David Rengel, and these are my associates, Fiona Jeffrey and Mike Robbins. We are members of a scientific team in the employ of Nirvana Terraforming and the Stellar Engineering Company. Perhaps you've heard of it? When you shake your head slowly, they look momentarily crestfallen. Oh well, it is the start of a new field of endeavor, David continues, recovering. We are looking to start a new project and need someone to help us set up our base camp, and you came highly recommended. Are you interested? Sure. That's great, he booms, a little too loudly, and you wince as many of the patrons look around in interest. We want to set up our base camp on Misfire and the Trishka system. Initially, it will just be me and the other 10 members of the team, plus some of the equipment we need. But it won't be long until we are requiring your services for more equipment. We are prepared to pay you 25,000 credits for your services on this trip, he continues quickly, as if suddenly remembering something. When can we leave? You ask him how long it will take him and his team to load up your vessel. Around 3 hours or so, he replies, slightly puzzled. Why? With a slight smile at his naivete, you tell him that you can be ready to leave in about 3 hours. Oh, he exclaims, suddenly understanding. Then we better get to work, eh? You nod and head off towards your ship. Excellent. No one else there. 21 tons. Yeah, I can't take any of this. That's ridiculous. Fine. There's never any cool ships. It's too bad. Should we, I don't want to sell them. They're cool. Oh, they don't even sell the normal ones. Interesting. Pity. Well, we'll just get out of here then. So, theoretically, we should be picking up the Wild Geese mission as soon as we land anywhere, really. Well, it is also possible that I didn't do it right. As soon as you land, David and his team of scientists quickly set about unloading their cargo as speedily as possible. You lend a hand, and in just over 2 hours, the job is done. Thank you, Captain Leptis Magna, says David seriously as he shakes her hand. I've already authorized the credit transfer to your account, and if you want more work, just drop by the bar. If I need anything, I'll contact you there. With that, he and his team head off to begin setting up their camp. Well, let's drop by the bar. This is... So we did this one too. We're ferrying around that guy that wants to do rock concert stuff, which, is fine. So we have to remember to come back to Misfire. I think he gets arrested at the end, but that's okay, because we don't care. We get paid. We need to go to Cornwall. No, come back. Yada, yada, yada. Off to our next gig. So I think we get 100,000 credits out of this, because I think we go here, and that's where he gets blown up. What is going on? Why are there Aurorans everywhere? Oh, well. Are people following us? I wasn't actually paying attention. Wow. This is much faster. I am close to thinking that we should probably just sell off our... yeah, I'm close to thinking we should sell off our cheap jammers, which is unfortunate. I suppose we'll be fine once we get the... So where do we need to go? Trishka, that's right. Why is everyone unhappy? Why are the rebels unhappy with us? Why is everyone unhappy with us? I don't understand. We've done nothing to the rebels. Wait a minute. We did blow up an association ship. I never remember, but it might be that... Ooh, man. It might be that that got them angry at us. That would be frustrating. Still no one in the bar. That's a little unfortunate. 20,000 credits. That's boring. Nothing good there. How much are the Valkyries? 350,000? Yeah, I don't know that This is a much cooler ship, but I'm not sure it's cooler enough over the Valkyrie. Or the pirate Valkyrie. Oh, those might be useful. 150,000 credits, though. That's so much money. I suppose we've got money, and that's what we're spending or that's what we're supposed to spend money on after all, but I don't know. Well, yeah, it's probably worth it. I hate spending so much money on something like that. Let's head to Glitech, see if we can pick up the outfitter missions. What is going on? Why are the rebels angry at us? I don't understand. Why are the rebels angry at us? And why are they everywhere we go? Okay. Outfitters. What do they got? Well, they only have the radar jammer. Yeah. I don't want to do this, but I think we're going to have to sell these. So we need the IR jammer, so take off. My goodness. A lot of stuff there. There we go. IR jammer. So we only wasted a lot of money. Too much money, if you ask me, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Oh, so we have 2 tons available. Not that we can do anything with that. Yeah, I don't actually think we can do anything useful with that. Unfortunately. Well, get a mining... Oh, we can't even get a mining laser. Fine. Well, asteroid scoop? Yeah, can't even hold that, which we don't really want to anyway. There's not a whole lot we can get here. I suppose we could go down to Shell, see what's down there. I can never remember if it's Shell or Connie. I think it's Shell that has all the pirate stuff. Drop by the bar. No one's there. 20,000 credits. Well, they didn't immediately get angry at us, but not everyone's been getting immediately angry at us anyway. I just really wish I knew and understood why the rebels were getting angry at us. Oh well. Should be able to land. Nope, not there. There, yeah. No, come back. What do we got here? So we get a sensor boost. Oh, right, but we want to get that on Earth because it's half the price. Pirate Viper Bay, 40 tons. EMP torpedo tube. Those are good, especially in a fight, but I don't think we quite want them. We could sell the carbon fiber to get... Yeah, but the armor, though. The armor is so good. Oh, this is so hard. We could get a railgun. Oh, right, no, we can't get a railgun because it's 25 tons. There's got to be something we can do with these 2 tons of cargo. We can't get either of those things. That's kind of frustrating. Afterburner's 5 tons. I mean, it's worthwhile, but 5 tons. So, with 3 tons, we get another battery pack, another solar panel. We could sell one of our solar panels, and then we'd have 8 tons. What does 8 tons get us? We could get a medium blaster for that money. That might actually be worthwhile. Or it's worth considering at least. Who is angry at us? Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to try. Okay. Still little ability. I'm wondering if we aren't getting enough credit for the ones that we're getting help with. I am going to take us off of 2 times speed, probably permanently, just because things just keep happening and having the reaction time is too good. Okay, so we could get a medium blaster if we sell a solar panel, which we don't really need 2 solar panels. Yeah, we don't really need 2 solar panels. So now we have 5 tons of cargo. And if we sell... What was the other thing we wanted to sell? I don't remember. Oh, no. I don't remember. Oh, no. Do we only have 5 tons now? What else were we going to sell? Oh no. So 3 tons. So we could sell. Yeah. So we. Oh, I probably added that wrong because I probably thought this was 3 tons. So with 5 tons, we could sell one of the carbon fibers. I don't like that. I don't like that. Or we could buy more carbon fiber. That's a thought. We could buy 2 more carbon fibers and then a light blaster. How much is a light blaster turret? 10 tons. Okay, let's see if we can buy more carbon fiber. So 2 more carbon fiber. Oh, excellent. That's perfect. So we have all the carbon fiber we can, and we get a light blaster. And I think that's pretty good. So it's energy damage 4 versus energy damage 10. So yeah, the medium blasters are significantly, well, actually, 8. Actually, yeah, it scales roughly correctly. Range is significantly higher on the medium blasters, so that's the difference. Okay. I don't know why I went back in here. It's too bad we can't have these. I want them. Oh well. Nothing useful there. So we need to get some combat ability. Unfortunately, there's no good places to go for combat ability because they either hop into systems that you don't expect, or I can't remember. I think we can only. Oh no. Okay, let's try going after this guy. We want to stay out of range of his. Okay, yeah, I think we do have to be the one to destroy it. Okay, now that we've got some help from the Federation, I assume. Oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, so as long as we didn't get the killing shot, that's unfortunate. Fine, we'll land. So what do we got? Fair ability. We might be able to go to Seoul now. I think that's worth. I think that's worth checking out. We would need 1,000 combat ability to transfer over to the. Yes. Oh, that took forever. Okay. Make sure this is the right thing. Yep, this is it. This took forever to get. You have barely entered the bar when you are knocked backwards by the flying body of one of the bar's patrons. The burly individual knocks you to the ground, and as you stand to give the offensive ruffian a piece of your mind, if not a piece of your boot, you notice the man was sent flying your way by a red-bearded giant fighting on the far side of the bar. As you watch, a number of men attack him, only to be beaten back by his prodigious strength. A man comes at him from behind, smashing a bar stool over his head. He staggers and begins to stumble. His sneaky attacker begins to draw a knife, and you feel as if you should help the man before he is stabbed in the back in a cowardly attack. You quickly jump into action, smashing your fists into the other man's face. He falls backward as your fist comes away, stained with blood. The giant shakes his head, and with a roar launches himself at the remaining ruffians. As you watch, the fight ends in a quick and brutal flurry of blows. In a matter of seconds, the floor is strewn with unconscious bodies. The man turns to you and offers his huge hand. "Thanks for your help," he says in a thick brogue. "Can I get you a drink?" You nod your assent, and he turns to a dazed-looking barman and orders 2 drinks. You make a mental note to not drink in dockside bars anymore, and turn your attention to the man beside you. He stands about 6.5 feet tall and looks as if he could pull apart leviathans with his bare hands. I mean, to be fair, they've got no shielding, so it's not that hard. I mean, I'm joking, but he has a shock of bright red carrot-colored hair and very pale skin. He turns to you and hands you a huge drink, as black as pitch and as thick as fresh cream. He raises his glass to you in silent salute and takes a long pull on the drink. You follow suit and are surprised by the thick, bitter taste that fills your mouth. It is as once revolting and enticing, and you don't quite know what to make of it. You guess that you should be polite and finish it, but you don't know if you'll be able to. Many hours later, you and your new friend, Micheline Hogue, stagger from the bar. The manager slams the door behind you and locks it quickly, and you get the distinct impression that he was not happy that the 2 loudest patrons were also the last to leave. You head back towards the docks, and when Micheline curses loudly, you follow his gaze as best you can, and you see a heavily modified Thunderbird being locked down by port authorities. Micheline shouts abuses at them in a strange tongue, but it makes no difference. Before they leave, they give him notice to the effect that he has outstanding storage debts, and that his ship will is impounded until he pays them back. Ah, but that would have been the life of a wild rover, he sighs wistfully, waving an unsteady hand at his locked ship. I spent all me money on whiskies and beer, and now I've none to get me ship out of hock. He slumps. I mean, how much did you spend on those drinks? He slumps down next to the ship and puts his head in his hand. Your heart goes out to him, and you ask if there's anything you can do to help him. He explains that he has to be in New Ireland in the Tuatha system before the end of the month, so he can be the best man in his cousin's nuptials. He says that if you can give him a lift, you can stay for the wedding and the party after. Apparently one is very serious, and the other involves a white dress. You've had far too many pints to figure out which is which. Do you give him a lift? No, I don't think we should give him a lift. You awake in the morning with a heavy head, and there's far too much light in the cabin. The instruments are too bright, and you cannot remember ever feeling quite so awful. Micheline doesn't appear to be too much better, but takes a very philosophical view of your predicament. Just remember that you can only start to feel better when you feel this bad at the beginning, he tells you with grim humor. Somehow it does make sense in a bizarre way. Can't believe we had to cheat our way into this. But yes, that is our introduction to the Wild Rovers. Which, if you hadn't guessed, are maybe based on Scotland, Ireland stuff. I mean, Ireland, but... The wedding turns out to be a very loud and jolly affair. The rites were solemn and beautifully written, and the sentiments of love and eternities spent together brings a tear to your eye. Micheline's cousin, Riley Sheskeen, is so happy that you have delivered his errant cousin that he places you at the place of honor at the reception between his unmarried and beautiful sister Sinead, I hope that's how you pronounce that, and his best friend and brother Sean Sheskeen. The night seems endless and is full of drink and song, fights and dancing. Men vie for the attention of the ladies, who treat them with a faintly mocking humor. Their tongues move like whips, and you find your sides hurting from laughter at their banter. Micheline tries to teach you old drinking songs, and Sinead tries to teach you to dance. In what seems to be only a few short hours, the night is over, and you stagger away to Micheline's place to pass into a blissful sleep full of dreams and quick-witted women and quicker-fisted men. Morning finds you in a small bed at the home of Micheline. You see him enter the room with a huge plate of steaming food, which makes your fragile stomach perform a couple of small flips. He places it thrusts it under your nose, and insists that you eat. As you weakly push the food down your gullet, Micheline tells you that all the young men of the town must go to the bride's family home and collect her dowry so they can deliver it to the newlyweds, and you have been invited to help. In fact, he says through a mouthful of his own breakfast, I've been told not to show up unless I have you in tow. You readily agree and spend another very enjoyable day in the company of these strange and hospitable folk. During the early years of colonization, I'm reading the description of the planet now that it matters. So New Ireland, not hard to guess there. During the early years of colonization, some of the troubled youth from the strife-torn province of Earth decided that they wished to leave. Yeah, that's not referring to anything. After many years of struggle, they made their home here. I can't believe they didn't call that many years of trouble. They decided that they wanted to leave behind everything they had grown up with, and slowly they and their descendants evolved a peaceful rural society. They've become an artistic, cultured, and hospitable people. But despite this, remember that this world was colonized by people who had been forced to fight their entire lives to survive. Their skills have been passed down to the wild geese, perhaps the single toughest mercenary unit in known space, known for their fierce independence and near-suicidal bravery. By the way, there's nothing to indicate that you should go to the bar, but that's where you're supposed to go. You and Micheline are sitting at the bar, and you are considering how easy it would be to stay here and drink for the rest of your life. When I first got this, I was like, I could do that. You notice that Micheline has not been to work a single day that you've been here. So far, all he's done is swan about and drink in pubs. You ask him why he doesn't seem to have to pay for anything, and he looks at you in surprise. Why, don't you know we are here in New Ireland, he answers, slightly unsurprised. We're the Wild Geese, the best mercenary organization in the universe. We fight for the best pay and the best causes, and we never lose. I'm one of the geese, so I am more responsible for the income of New Ireland than many others here. So tradition has it that I don't pay for grog or food, nor lodgings either. You see, there is a good chance that I will die in the service of the New Ireland economy, so I don't pay taxes or for services. I'll cover any debt when I die. You ask him further about the geese, and you realize that most of the famous battles of the past have had geese somewhere in the field. At least that's the way they tell it. No, I'm kidding. They have a long tradition of being the savior of their employers' troops, and when the day is all but lost and most men are ready to break, the wild geese find a special reserve and push on, often winning the day single-handedly. Or at least that's or at least that's the way Michelin tells it. By the time he has finished his explanations, many of the other patrons have begun telling their stories. They all involve fighting, women, and lots of drinking. By the time you leave the bar, you have a deep wish that you'd at least had the fortune to be born on New Ireland, or the sole homeland, Ireland itself. At least then you could lay claim to this rich tradition of warriors and heroes. You tell Michelin, and who laughs until his face hurts. Musha, he waggles a finger at you. It's talk like that that'll cause people not to let you leave. If you stay long enough, you'll look and think and sound so much like us that a stranger won't know the difference. But unfortunately, I have to get back to Seoul and collect my ship. Can you take me back? Nah. You tell Michelin that you would be happy to take him back. The next day, you head back to Seoul. Okay, so, off to Seoul. And we're in good with the wild geese now. The wild geese and the, I don't remember the name of them. There's a rival mercenary unit that they're always fighting with. I can't remember which system it is, but we should head there and read the planet description. I'm sure we'll end up there eventually. You and Michelin land on the Cane Band with a minimum of fuss. It is odd that you get clearance so quickly. You have seen waits at least 10 times longer than the one you had. Michelin is in high spirits, and together you set off for the impound office to arrange for Michelin's ship to be released. You are nearly there when you see a group of burly figures walk out of an alley ahead of you. Roughnecks, that's what it is. Those are the mercenary people that they're always fighting with. I don't know that these are roughnecks, but anyway. They turn and wait for you to approach, and you glance over your shoulder. More men are there, and a sudden sweat breaks out on you, as cold as the pit of your stomach. They are all armed in some way. Michelin stops and gives you an almost imperceptible nod. The hour is late, and traffic on the walkway is thin, made up of mostly the dregs of the port's population, the night walkers who only appear after most regular folk have gone to bed. There is little likelihood of outside intervention, and you are forced to let the other man make their first move. Foot soldiers, Michelin whispers from the side of his mouth. They work for a black-hearted bastard called McGowan. He runs a pirate organization in the Galactic North. He has a lot of backing, too, mostly from the Bureau of Internal Investigation. By the way, doesn't that sound familiar? Everything is tied to them somehow. Hard to prove, but still fact. The big bastard in the middle is Bull John Pennant. He's McGowan's man in this sector, and a real piece of work, too. The only problem is I owe them money, and lots of it. That and the fact that I betted with Pennant's wife. I don't like the looks of this little party. You know, I have two questions. How does he owe money to the pirates? And how did he get in with the pirate's wife? Never mind. Michelin Hogue, you worthless muck shoveler. Pennant steps forward, casting back his overcoat to reveal a sawn-off shotgun blaster. You have a lot of nerve showing your ugly face around here. We was tipped you'd be dropping by, so I thought I'd get myself a little payback while I'm here. Boss wants his money as well. He starts to walk forward. The men behind you begin to close in. If I don't get out of this in one piece, Michelin whispers urgently, get back to New Ireland and find Eamon Flanagan. Tell him what happened and that I'm sorry about this. The men behind you charge, and Pennant opens fire with his shot blaster. Michelin pulls a hidden blaster from his cloak and returns fire, and you turn to face the men charging behind you. You fire at one of them, but you feel a sudden pain in your back. You fall into unconsciousness, and the ensuing blackness is the heaviest you've ever known. When you regain consciousness, the area around you is covered in blood. Some of it is pooled in places, but all of it indicates that the bodies of the fallen have been removed. You lift your head and you see Michelin. He is sitting slumped against the wall, covered in blood, but smiling still. I've never seen that tactic before, he grins merrily. Deliberately knocking yourself out to trip up the enemy. Maybe I can do that next time and you can take care of them after that. You smile and immediately wish you had not, as the skin across your face feels as if it has been mashed with a mallet. Yeah, Michelin laughs at your obvious discomfort. I've never seen someone headbutt another man's foot so hard. Good thinking, though. You did break his foot. Nothing like using your head in a fight, as Flanagan always says. Oh well, he grimaces as he levers himself up and helps you to your feet. We had better get back to New Ireland and to inform the man himself of what has occurred, because I very much doubt McGowan will be prepared to leave this one alone. You look surprised to hear the obvious trepidation in his tone. That's misspelled. Fighting Pennant and his lapdogs is one thing. He shakes his head, blood still dripping down his face from several cuts on his forehead. Telling Eamon Flanagan about it is another thing. You think I look bad now? You wait until the next time he drags me along to one of his training sessions. I'll be in hospital for months. You don't think you'd get to be a leader of as unruly of a mob as the wild geese without being able to crack together a few heads, he grunts as the two of you head back to your ship. Now do you? Despite the pain, you cannot help but grin at Michelin and his wonderfully warped view of the universe. We never did pick up his ship. I'm just saying, like, we have the money, right? Right? Unless they stole the money that he was going to use to pick up his ship. I mean, I have 150,000 credits. We could use that. I mean, the impoundment can't cost more than the ship, and that's half of a ship. So, you know, that's a lot of things. As you pilot your way down through the atmosphere, you cannot help but notice a couple of deep energy discharge craters not far from the spaceport, and you wonder what has happened here. As soon as you land, Michelin takes a deep breath to steady himself and motions you to follow him. Come on, he mutters, looking more cowed than you would have believed possible. We may as well get this over with. He leads you to a side building off the spaceport and into what appears to be an office block. For the commander of a mercenary unit, you are surprised that this Flanagan has no personal bodyguards. But as you enter his office, you see him training with some other men in the side area. As you watch, you see 10 men rush him, only to be repulsed by him. He moves in a way that you have not seen any other man move. He weaves around them as if he controlled their movements as well as his own, and that each step taken was part of some elaborate and painful dance. By the way, you run into this sort of thing in the Auroran Empire, which I think comes up later in this story, but the Aurorans are all about the beauty of the fight and the dance, which is related to the Velos psychic abilities, I believe. By the time you begin to piece together what your eyes are telling you, the man has moved on further. It is amazing to behold. Within moments he has defeated the men. You expect them to be smashed, broken, bloody, yet they stand, slowly for some, but they are not injured beyond possible bruises. Better, gentlemen, much better. Now go and practice among yourselves. I have business to attend to. He turns and walks towards you. I can see that you are impressed, Flanagan waves behind his head at the practice mat. The skills of the mercenary are varied. Some situations require force, others non-force. It is something I learned during my time with the Aurorans. The House Heron use a specific style of martial arts, the Heron style. I am a master, but I have started teaching my men here a variation of it. It is an amazing system. You nod in agreement and ask what the principal basis is. 1 second. In learning Heron style, you are taught to read and direct the weave of combat. Subconsciously, all of us fight to a pattern and rhythm. Heron style teaches us to detect it and control it. It isn't so much that you defeat your opponent, but he defeats himself if you force the weave to do so. It's hard to explain, but once felt and mastered, it makes all combat easier, from one-on-one to mammoth battles between hundreds of ships. There is one teacher, Lekar, to whom the most promising students are sent. It is said that he imprints the ability to read and control the weave on the students subconsciously. This makes their weave unreadable, and therefore very dangerous. You nod, even though most of what Flanagan has said escapes your understanding. So, he says, turning to Michelin and eyeing him wryly, not 12 hours ago, we beat off a well-planned and well-conducted raid by ships that appear to be untraceable, and then you come home looking like a whipped dog. Why am I not surprised? When I told you to try and infiltrate McGowan's organization, I didn't mean you had to piss off all of his lackeys in the process. Let me guess, you had a run-in with Pennant? Oh, I guess that explains why he owes him money. Oh well. Michelin nods, his eyes downcast. All right, Flanagan nods as if having made a major decision. Meet me in the bar in a few hours, and I'll detail you on a new set of orders. In the meantime, Michelin, go and get your training gear on. If you're going to get into all these fights, the least I can do is to show you how to survive them without having to go through major surgery all the time. Michelin sighs and despondently turns away, and you notice a quick smile crossing Flanagan's face. He looks at you and shakes his head after Michelin leaves. There are days, he grins, still shaking his head, when I swear I could throttle the boy. If he wasn't so damn good at what he does, I reckon I would probably have by now. Regardless, he seems to have taken a shine to you, and whatever your faults are, he's a fine judge. Whatever his faults are, he's a fine judge of character. If you want, drop by the bar as well. I could use you, if only to try and keep Michelin from straying too far into the wilderness. This is a lot of talking. You were sitting quietly in a corner booth in the bar when a man walks in and walks straight up to you. Lepsis Magna, he asks in a lilting voice. You nod, noticing the man is very heavily armed, carrying a sawn-off shot blaster, 2 heavy blaster pistols, and a laser rapier. A laser rapier. Yeah. It's supposed to, I get it. Lightsabers are copywritten. Yeah. I'm Flynn Brereton. Eamon should be along soon, as should the others. Others? You wonder what is going on when you see two men saunter towards you. They are identical, with a shock of red hair, and both are very large. They nod in greeting to Flynn and sit down. Again, you notice that the newcomers are heavily armed. I'm Sean O'Driscoll, one of them says. This here's me brother, Ryan. The other grunts and waves for two ales. No sooner do the drinks arrive than a slim, athletic woman approaches. She sits and begins to polish a throwing dagger. You introduce yourself, and she smiles shyly at you. I'm Tara Collins. I'm pleased to meet you. Don't mind her, Lepsis Magnus, says Flynn. I've been told that she talks more eventually, though I've known her 3 years myself, and nary an errant word does she say to me. Tara shoots a wilting look at Flynn before returning to her blade. You are about to ask what is going on when Eamon Flanagan stalks into the bar, followed by 3 others, including a brow-beaten Micheline. Ah, Lepsis Magna, I see you have already met the others. These with me make up the rest of the Wild Rovers. The Rovers are the closest thing the Wild Geese have to Special Forces. The 8 people you see here are the most resourceful individuals on all of New Ireland. They are used primarily as spies, but are also capable of demolitions work, assassination, anything really. Now, I've called them here to outline the plan against Pennant and the Soul Sector branch of McGowan's organization. Eamon goes over the background of the situation, of how Micheline was tasked to infiltrate the organization and assess its strengths and weaknesses, how he got into trouble when he owed the criminals a lot of money, and how they responded by trying to kill him. The Rovers are quiet throughout the meeting, silently drinking their drinks and listening to Flanagan. You get the impression that at any other time they would be a lot of fun, but the current situation calls for a certain level of professionalism. Flanagan concludes his briefing with an outline of the plan to come. The Rovers would separate and enter the Soul system. Each 2-man team would be responsible for the destruction of a different sphere of McGowan's organization. When each team had finished their tasks, they would return to New Ireland. Of course, we could always use another man, he says as he claps a hearty hand over your shoulder. You tell Flanagan that you would be honored to take part in this operation, and that you owe McGowan and his sidekick Pennant that much. In that case, he grins good-naturedly. I want you to go to Myrim in the Hannaford system. Flynn will go with you, and he'll be in command of a team of our Special Operations Commandos. When you get there, you will need to locate the wreck of a freighter called the South of the Border. It crashed nearly 80 years ago on the icy steppes. McGowan has made the wreck habitable again and has been using it as a tobacco and hammerhead processing facility. Tobacco and hammerhead. It has been a handy arrangement for McGowan. Myrim is close enough to Seoul that it doesn't take too long to ship the product back. However, since Myrim doesn't have any official government, McGowan has been able to get a steady influx of income without having any police trouble. I want you to go and fix the situation. All of the workers there are convicted criminals that McGowan has been able to secure as part of a governmental work contract. It is a good indication that the Federation cares little for the state of its criminal justice system. Terminate them. Teach them the folly of dealing in destructive drugs. After that, meet me back here for the next phase of the operation. One final thing, he mutters, looking straight at you. As the new member of our team, if at any time things seem too out of hand for us to survive here, look up my friend, Professor F. Cook, on the Misfire and the Trishka system, and I won't be too far away. Right. Okay. Whew. Lots of talking. I think it's south. No, is it Trishka? I'm trying to remember which of these stations is a Wild Goose outpost, because I kind of want to drop by there. I think it's one of these 3, so we're gonna head up there before heading back to Seoul or wherever we're supposed to go. Wherever that wreck is. Not the least of which to rest my voice. Okay, so not Corella. Please don't attack us yet. Thank you. Oh, I don't think this is it. Man, I don't think this is it either. Maybe it was Trishka. I know it's here somewhere. Let's try Trishka. I'll know when we get there because there's a message that pops up. Nope, not here either. Well, we need fuel anyway. Okay, so I know it's around here somewhere. It's not Nezar. Yeah, Nezar Secundus is the Roughnecks. Okay, Tuatha does show up as the wild geese, so I wonder if the other... I mean, I'm not seeing it. It's not serious. Have I not been here in this playthrough? I mean, I suppose that's possible. Man, I know it's somewhere. I wanted to go there, but I guess I don't remember where it is. Guess we go to Hannaford. Yeah, I don't know if that the vertical jump booster thing that lets you jump closer to the center of the system, I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, it's nice, but it's not necessary. Let's hope we can land on Hannaford without getting shot at or dying. Oh no. Yes. After avoiding the orbital patrols, hey, that's what we did. I was almost going to go kill them. You and Flynn quickly move through the facility, smashing and killing everything you come across. Flynn is just a whirling dervish of destruction, and whenever you find yourself getting pinned down, he somehow manages to pull off the impossible and pull you out of trouble. After the better part of an hour fighting your way through the crashed ship, everything is quiet, and Flynn plants his charges, and the two of you take off as soon as possible to avoid any further entanglement with the pirate goons. I guess that's all we needed to do there. Well, fine. There is a home away from home for the wild geese, though. I just don't remember where it is. Oh well. Yeah, so we can't quite take on the pirate Valkyries and such. We'd be able to outrun their missiles, but they do have large blasters. We only have medium blasters. I think they'd be able to take us down more quickly. Although we did buy more carbon fiber, so we might be able to hang on just a little longer. So what are they? Oh, Eamon Flanagan. Hello. We have the same ship as he does. You land on New Ireland with the memory of your assault on the south of the border still fresh in your mind. You and the Wild Geese team move through the derelict like the wraiths of death itself. The workers tried to repulse you with small arms fire from numerous blasters, and the sentinel gun emplacements slowed you down for a while, but nothing could stop Flynn. His heavy repeating blaster spat an unending stream of destruction, and soon enough it was time for up-close fighting. In battle, Flynn became like a wild killing machine, hacking and slashing without fear. Men fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and many turned and tried to flee. Flynn pulled his pistol, and he and his team wreaked a bloody vengeance out upon their massed ranks, and it was over in less than an hour. You looked out of a porthole and watched the survivors flee across the icy steppes, safe in the knowledge that the extreme cold would soon end their lives. Well, that's a little morose. You remember standing guard while Flynn quickly set a number of microfusion charges before both of you returned to the Duke of Earl 2. As you passed over the site, Flynn depressed the detonator, and the entire wreck disappeared in a ball of white light, rapidly expanding to a sphere of flaming debris. The Hulk was simply vaporized. You and Flynn report the details of your assault to Flanagan, who grins happily at the result. That should upset our friend McGowan somewhat, he says a little cheekily. He just lost a sizable portion of his drug production capability. It took him almost a year to set up the site, and it took two of you and a strike team about an hour or two to utterly destroy it. Wait for me in the bar, and I'll have something else for you to do in a few hours. Oh, we meant to go to the bar on Tuatha, because that's where we left the terraforming guys. Oh well. You are sitting waiting for Flanagan, and Flynn has been telling you about all of his recent adventures. You do a lot of flying, but Flynn has been from one end of the universe to the other so many times that he would have easily eclipsed your journeys. All of his missions seem to involve some sort of espionage, from destroying installations to planting bugs and wires in crucial places. You're beginning to get a grasp of how large the Wild Geese's intelligence network is, and you ask Flynn how the geese maintain such a high level of security and awareness in what is a constantly changing world. That's simple, he says, sipping his pint. We geese come from a long line of usurpers. Our ancestors fought in so many wars after being forced into exile for their political ideologies that we have almost evolved into the unit we are now. What does that mean? Oh well. Where some people get their wains. The Three Little Bugbears, or the Princess Bride, we get told stories about Michael Collins and the Flying Columns, or the battles of Rory of the Glen. Guerrilla tactics are like mother's milk to us. Intelligence and counterintelligence are easy if you've been trained in them since you were able to listen. You are still musing over this information when Flanagan arrives. He quickly walks up to you and pulls you to a booth. Now we are going to have a little game. McGowan has placed orders with a number of smaller operators for drugs. In a few hours, we'll have a shipment for you to deliver. Only thing is, your containers aren't going to be filled with Hammerhead or Fly or Goof Juice. Oh, well, that explains what Hammerhead is. They're going to be packed with explosives. Since the orders are being filled by so many groups, it has been easy for our spies to discover what the passwords are and the delivery schedules. Do you want me to make some evil men? Do you want to make some evil men go boom? Good for you. Here's the deal. We'll load the containers onto your ship. You have to take them to Rail and the Porto Rilia system. McGowan has a distribution center there. When you arrive, tell the dock workers that the containers are for Marguerite Harris. They will ask you when you want them delivered, and you must respond with before 6 tomorrow and make it snappy. If you don't, they will assume you are a plant and will more likely than not, try to kill you. Even if you escape, you'll still have a hold full of explosives to get rid of. So make sure you have it right. Get the shipment there ASAP, and I'll need to make McGowan sweat in order to take my plans to the next phase. Oh, as I'll need to make McGowan sweat in order to take my plans to the next phase. Also, he adds with a quiet grin, you might want to avoid Federation patrols, as I don't think they appreciate people who ship around large amounts of explosives from a place to place. Any questions? You tell Flanagan that you have it, and head for your ship. Where do we need to go? Porto Rilia. We should be able to go there without stopping. Now, the only trouble is if we get scanned by any of the Federation gunboats. It's always the gunboats or the Vipers. Never anything else. Or the Anacondas. Yeah, that's true. I think they're Anacondas. Okay, so... Rill. Okay, perfect. You land on Rill to find the docks a swarm of activity. You wonder how the corrupt dock workers know which ships to approach, but you guess that Flanagan and the geese have made sure the shipping scripts have been organized to match. A number of burly dock workers approach you, and with a poker face you tell them that the containers are to be delivered to Marguerite Harris. When asked by what time the goods must be delivered, you tell the foreman, before 6 tomorrow and make it snappy. The foreman grins and hands you a chip for 30,000 credits. Hey, I'll take it. There you go, he says, smiling. A little bonus from the boss for a prompt delivery. You smile more at the irony of the situation, but the dim-witted foreman does not notice the difference. You head back to your ship to get some rest and watch the news. A couple of hours later, the broadcast you are watching is interrupted for a special report. You watch in grim satisfaction as a news reporter makes a telecast from the front of a burning warehouse. Great gouts of black, oily smoke billow from the building, and the reporter has to shout to be heard over the roar of the flames. Switching off the holo receiver, you head for the stars and, ultimately, New Ireland. Alrighty then. Let's see. Do I want to go to the bar? Yeah, I might as well. Okay. I'm just worried that, it's 40,000 credits. 40,000 is an interesting number. Yeah, I don't want to take any of the urgent deliveries now because we take 2 days to transfer between systems. It's just not worth it. Okay, so we are ready to take off. Yeah, okay, that does get us much closer to the center of system. That's probably worth it. Oh, who is that? Free traders. Eh. It is nice to jump from place to place without having to worry about refueling. We saw your handiwork on the news, Flanagan smiles as he meets you at the hatch. I especially like the bit where the authorities tried to take the credit for the destruction of a large shipment of drugs and breaking the smuggling ring. Funny thing about crooked cops, if something too big happens, they take down everybody, get promotions and medals, and sleep well knowing that they have heaps of cash and still done their jobs. Flanagan shakes his head, and you wonder how much the police and security forces were tipped off. Just how the police and security forces were tipped off. Go and get some rest in a real bed, he finishes with a warm smile. What's wrong with my ship? Anyway, sorry. And take some time to wind down. The next stage of the operation is going to be tricky, so I'll need some time to set it up. Now, I think we can just go straight to the bar. Yes, excellent. You are sitting down, enjoying a drink, when you see Flanagan and Micheline walk in, both looking grim. We need you to go into the Dragon's Lair, says Flanagan without preamble, once they make their way over. From what intelligence I've been able to gather, this guild that McGowan is charge of is a little more capable than I thought they were. They have ties with the Bureau, and some of their equipment could only have come from them. I'm going to be sending you to make a peace proposal, Flanagan says, showing you a data cube and holding up the other hand to forestall your protests. We do not have the manpower to defeat them, and if we do get dragged into a war with them, we'll probably get blindsided by the Federation through their ties with the Bureau. We have hurt them, Flanagan notes quietly, and hopefully we can negotiate a truce without further incident. If I can get McGowan to see that the cost to his damned guild of so-called associated traders would also be detrimental to their purpose of amassing wealth. Okay. So the associated traders are from McGowan, the pirates are free agents, and then the free traders are just other people, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what the free traders are. Are you prepared to risk your life to be our envoy? He asks quietly. No. Thank you, Lepsis Magnus, states Flanagan evenly. We owe you more than you know. McGowan's headquarters are on the station called Harbor in the Shial system, to the galactic north of the Federation. Good luck. With that, he turns on his heel and walks out of the bar, leaving Micheline behind. I'll be thanking you as well, Micheline grins shamelessly. If you had refused, it would have been me going, and I know that McGowan holds me in no high regard, since it was me that caused this whole thing. Anyway, I'd best be catching up to Flanagan, or else he'll have me back in training again. With a wink and a saucy grin, Micheline heads off after Flanagan. So, yeah, that's up in the middle of nowhere. I think we go this way. Let's hope we can make it to Korea before refueling. A 1-ton data cube. So I was just noticing that our free space is down to 19 tons, even though he handed us the data cube. So, you know, I would imagine we'd be able to hold it in our hands or something. Pardon me. So the rebels are against the free traders. So we can attack the free traders with impunity. The association is at odds with the association is at odds with the Federation, because we saw the Federation attacking association ships, and the pirates are free agents and we can attack them. So why were the rebels getting angry at us before? I don't get it. You know, it's almost worth buying a map just so we don't. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's never worth it. Oh well. Sorry, looking around, seeing if we have anything. Yeah, none of this seems particularly interesting. Oh, I should have checked the ships. Oh well. I want to say this is the system that we tried taking over the last time, but I don't remember. Almost before you land, someone has picked the lock on your hatch. You know, I'm just saying, it shouldn't have a lock. It should have... Never mind. And in minutes, a small group of men carrying all sorts of weapons have stormed into your cockpit and taken you prisoner. They carry you throughout the spaceport in a set of offices and to a set of offices just off the main structure of the spaceport and throw you into what appears to be a conference room of sorts. Inside, you see seated in a plain yet obviously comfortable chair a man slightly more than medium height and of slim build. There is something almost hauntingly familiar about the man, but you cannot put your finger on it. I believe he's like our uncle or something. We figure that out if we follow the pirate storyline. He might be our father. You know, I don't actually remember. If my information is correct, Captain Lepsis Magna, he begins pleasantly, you have recently come from the planet called New Ireland in the Tuatha system. Now, as I'm sure you have guessed by now, my name is McGowan, and at the moment, as Guildmaster of the Associated Guild of Free Traders, I am not terribly impressed with a group of people known as the Wild Geese who hail from that area of space. Now tell me, why should I allow you to leave this station alive? You take a few moments to tell McGowan of your most recent meeting with Flanagan and of the data cube containing his peace proposal. When you have finished speaking, McGowan stares at you for several moments. Meet me in the bar in a couple of hours, he dismisses you indifferently. His urbane manner sends shivers of something akin to recognition down your spine. By then, I will have made my decision regarding this truce. With a small wave of his hand, his muscular henchmen grab you and turf you back out onto the spaceport. With a few muttered curses, you decide that discretion would be the better part of valor in this case, and you head off to find the local bar, wondering what it is about the man that seems so familiar. I might be wrong about him being our father. I remember it's something weird like that. I've only done the pirate and the Auroran storylines once, and that was long ago. Nothing you can get here for very good. And why is the ion cannon illegal? That's no fun. And that's an interesting question. If it's illegal... Yeah, never mind. Ooh, Pirate Starbridge. I almost kind of wish we'd gone for that. Privateers, that's what it is. Privateer. I should do that after this game. I mean, that is faster than ours, isn't it? I don't know. Guns maximum of 6, turrets maximum of 1. Guns maximum of 4, turrets maximum of 2. Okay. Fine. As you sit, drink in hand, wondering what it is about McGowan that bothers you, an expectant hush falls over the bar, and you look to see McGowan and a number of his bully boys have walked into the bar. Noting you sitting near the rear, they make their way over. As soon as McGowan sits down, his bully boys set upon you. You desperately try to defend yourself, but there are simply too many of them for you to do anything effective. Possibly only 2 or 3 minutes later, the beating abates, and one of the thugs lifts you off the floor to face McGowan. I have accepted Flanagan's proposal, he says, unperturbed by your condition. I will no longer launch operations against the wild geese if they do not launch against us. As for you, I am warning you to never return to this place while I am alive. I don't know what it is, but there's something offensive about you, and I will not tolerate your presence any more than I have to. With that, he gets up and starts walking out of the bar. The man holding you up drops you to the ground, and you remain there, unmoving for some time before levering yourself up. Not a single person in the bar makes eye contact with you as you leave the establishment. We're going to head back to the bar just to see if anything cool shows up. There's no missions. Yeah, it's not terribly surprising. Fine. Yeah, so now the pirates are angry with us, which I guess is fine. Might actually be faster to go this way. Federation's space jump systems just... They have the best... Oh, come on. We're leaving. Ugh. Seriously. Oh, boy. I wonder what combat rating we need to start the bounty hunter storyline. I don't know. I think as long as we don't accept any missions to Earth and only visit the bars off Earth, we should be fine. Oh wow, we're already here. That was fast. When you return, your bruises are nearly all healed, and most of the aches and pains are gone. Well, it has been 20 days, hasn't it? Flanagan receives the news that McGowan has accepted his proposal stoically, and mutters something about keeping an eye on the bastard to make sure he's actually abiding by his word. Within minutes, word has gotten out of your bravery in meeting with McGowan, and, in typical whirlwind fashion, Micheline has grabbed you and dragged you, only partially against your will, down to the pub. There's much singing and dancing, and before too long, you catch yourself smiling and enjoying yourself. At one point, Eamon pulls you aside and tells you that the hacker techs have been able to perform some last-minute trickery whilst McGowan was ordering his people to return to normal activities. For all intents and purposes, the entire Wild Rovers team are employees of the McGowan organization. You will be receiving a regular salary from McGowan, and he will not know a thing about it. All of the entries are invisible. His accountants will never know that they are there. Even if he gets shut down and the proper authorities take over operations on some of the front businesses, we'll all still keep getting paid. You'll both laugh at the irony of the situation for a long time. Towards the end of the night, Eamon calls for quiet, and an expectant hush falls over the bar patrons. Friends, he says, you all know Lepsis Magna, and you have heard what a wonderful fella he is. There's a roar from the crowd, and you feel yourself blush. You heard that it was himself that did well for Micheline and fought beside him, using his head to break the feet of his foes. Again the roar, this time accompanied by good-natured laughter. Well, it is my great pleasure to bestow upon Lepsis Magna the Order of the Red Branch. The crowd goes ballistic, and you are pushed forward by a wave of hands patting you upon the back. Flanagan takes you by the arm and instructs you to kneel before him. He takes a huge sword of lightly polished steel and places it upon your shoulders. Then the other, intoning, I dub thee Sir Lepsis Magna, Knight of the Red Branch, Keeper of the Blood of Cuchulainn. Stand and be recognized. The roaring of the crowd is deafening, and you stand and are presented with a small brooch. Looking at it, you see it depicts a goose in flight, surrounded by a small three-leafed plants, all set over 2 crossed swords. Tears mist over your eyes, and you feel the arms of your new family embrace you. Next day, Flanagan sees you off at the spaceport. Don't forget what I told you now, he embraces you warmly. Stop by every now and then, and I'll probably have a job for you. If you ever get into trouble, just you come back here and we'll take care of it for you. You smile and tell him that you will, and step aboard your ship. He waves you farewell, and before long the stars fill your viewports, and you leave New Ireland behind. For the time being. Yeah. It's a short mission, but it's nice. It's nice. I don't think they sell us anything cool, unfortunately. Shipyard. Oh, I guess they do sell that. Yeah, it's just not that great, you know? Yeah, so no turrets, 8 guns. Yeah, it's actually not that bad, I guess. Yeah, shields and armor aren't as good, though. Oh, yeah, modified star bridge. 6 and 2, 465 and 185. And this is, yeah, okay, never mind. The modified star bridge is way better. Yeah, 20 tons of cargo versus 15 tons. Yeah, they just don't have any cargo. It's kind of sad, really. 250. That's right. That's right. The IDA frigates, once you upgrade them, are pretty cool. Yeah. Unfortunately, they take way too much to upgrade them, and even then, they're only okay. But they are nice. They are nice. Well then, now we just have to go find some pirates, kill the pirates, and then hopefully... Oh, come on. I wonder if we got the kill for that. Probably not. Probably not. But we get 750 credits a day now, which is nice. Oh, I should have stuck around for those marauders. Oh well. Ah, well. Yeah, there's never anyone that we can fight. Yeah, we're not going to engage the capital class Auroran ship. That would probably be a bad idea. Oh, actually, isn't this the home away from home? Yeah, this is. I was sure there was a space buoy about this, though. Where are we? Oh, yeah, Corella. Space Dock 6 is the home away from home of the New Ireland's most successful export, the wild geese. This mercenary unit has been stationed on SD6 for many years now as a memorial to the largest fleet engagement of recent history. An Auroran armada engaged a Federation task force by then I can't talk. 1 second. An Auroran armada engaged a Federation task force led by then Commander Rakzak, which was nearly wiped out but for the timely intervention of a small group of wild geese, who all but single-handedly neutralized the Auroran threat, but at a massive cost to themselves. Of the 12 ships committed to the battle, only 2 remained to manage to limp back to SD6. The commander of the wild geese was quoted as saying, "Today we saved Rakzak's operation, and truly does he owe all future glories to us. This has been a long-standing bone of contention between the group and the admiral, which has almost led to open conflict." Yeah. I guess we don't really need anything. I'm almost tempted to... Oh yeah, this bar is filled with the lilting songs from far off Ireland, and the black gold flows freely. You quickly find yourself being caught up in a world of drink, song, and dance. Yada yada yada. None of that is interesting. None of that's interesting. Let's head to Rimshot, see if we have enough combat ability for the outfitter missions there. One of the cool parts about that is I think it gives you outfits even if you don't have the room for them. So you end up with more guns than you should, which is pretty great. Well, we can contribute, right? Well, except if we kill an Auroran ship, the Aurorans will get mad at us. So no, that's a bad idea. Only want to get the pirates mad at us because they will already try to kill us. Man, nothing interesting. So we have fair ability. This is the problem. I don't really know a good place to go for pirates that won't just kill us. I suppose that is the problem, isn't it? Aurorans. Why are there so many Aurorans? Wild geese. I want to get the start of the bounty hunter missions going before we stop for today. Oh wait, man. Oh, actually, that's perfect. So we might be able to... Okay, that's a lot of missiles. Ugh. Oh, right, we have an afterburner. Why am I not using the afterburner? So the question is, I don't think we're going to be able to get... Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get around and kill him. The Pirate Valkyrie is just a little too powerful for us to take on head-to-head, considering our armaments. Oh, but maybe we can get the Federation to help. So, if we hide behind them... Ow. Okay, so maybe we can now do that. Okay, this was a bad idea. Because now the Federation is going to help us. Oh, wait, no. Stop. Oh, well, fine. Well, we don't have that many credits to steal anyway. 30,000 credits. Okay, so we wouldn't have saved that much even if they had, Oh, he just did it for free. That's nice of him. Oh, no! Oh, that's rude. That's rude! Okay, so perhaps that is where we will call it for today. I will return to this, and hopefully we will be able to pick up the bounty hunter missions, and then we'll be able to go through the rebel storyline. Finally. I'm going to look up what combat rating we need for that, so I can figure out how many more ships we need to kill before we can go for them in earnest. As always, thanks for watching.